Okay, guys, welcome to this special edition here. All right, guys, welcome everyone. All right, this is a special edition of our weekly breakdown analysis. Okay, now as a high request has come in, I want to be a servant as much as possible to you all. And so I'm starting the weekly breakdowns of crypto. So every single week, Sunday night, Monday morning, UK time, all right, I will be releasing weekly breakdowns on all of the major pairs, if you want to call it that, in the crypto space. Now, being a Forex trader, it might sound funny to say that, but there are majors, as we'll say, within the market of crypto. And one of those is Cardano. Now, Cardano has just triggered a major signature that I really want to dive into. All right, major correction coming in. But before we do that, let's start off with what we have here. I'll come back. All right. So again, we've just had a massive short take place, and I want to go through this because I gave you guys the analysis. So our order block here, this is what we're working with. The price broke past this area. We had a long. The market came for this high, and what we've seen is a reversal a lot higher up here. Now, what the market has done, and this is very important, guys, is we have a reoptimization of demand. Now, along the way on the short side, one of the biggest areas of demand that we had was right here. And what we've seen in the market right now, if I use the H4, this major area of demand, the prices returned here and used it as a shorting area. Now, how far the short is going to go is going to be very interesting to see. From the looks of how the price velocity is coming along, it looks as though these weekly lows here, so weekly low number one, I'm going to bring this across here. And this is the low from Bitcoin Day, when we had the market crash, and also the previous week's low. So these two lows, it looks as though the market will come for these. All right, now, first of all, before anything, here's a supply flip zone here on the H4. Now, depending on how the price reacts in here, will let us know how strong the price velocity is going to be. All right, now, if the price breaks beneath and continues here, we are going to have a reoptimization of supply for its original use, and we should be seeing some short activity. Again, this is natural price action, guys. The price will have to do this. My major concern, if you want to put it this way, which is going to, I wouldn't say jeopardize the bull market, but would hamper the progress of the market, would definitely be this supply zone right here. Now, this supply zone right here, guys, I told you is the crux or the switch between major supply and major demand. Now, it's not a large order block, but what's key here for you to see is that when we had the first drop in price after a massive bullish movement, when the price dropped on Bitcoin from 64 down to 47, and then from this 59 all the way down to this 29 mark, the supply zone, which was highly instrumental in this movement, is here. Now we see that the price broke above and returned here. Now, this supply zone may not appear on some of your charts if you're using TradingView. This price feed is specifically from Bittrex. Okay, this is the price feed that my broker uses, Hugo's Way. Now, we had the formation of a break above this zone in the return, which means supply has become demand. Major flip there. Price took off long. We had the first long and then the second long. Now, this long right here, guys, I've spoken about this in great detail. The reason for this reaction is because of this algorithmic level here. This algorithmic level on the market order book is the last one to the left before the price would have gone to the new all-time high. And as I always said to you, that something will happen on this when the price gets to this point. And which is just, you can't make these things up. Bitcoin Day literally landed on that price point. What are the odds that El Salvador, legalizes Bitcoin as a legal tender, and that same day the price hits that algorithmic level, which lets you know that there's more than meets the eye. And because of that, I'm not saying that I would like to see that happen, but I've told you already from the weekly structure, when I look at Bitcoin, there are market inefficiencies all the way back down to 9,600 on Bitcoin, for real. I do think that the price can have the potential to go there. My only issue is, as a technical trader, we had this very strong weekly push to the long side. The price has returned back here, broken beneath the order block here. Now, when we had the break below on this candle right here, this was a sign that we've entered into a major area of supply in the market. the body of the candle actually closed lower than what we had in January. So when we return back here on this candle, we were supposed to see a short. But funny enough, that same exact week, we had positive news, or so-called news, that Amazon was looking to accept crypto as a payment. So instead of the market making a very technical short based on the break and return, we had a very bullish, strong bullish run. Now, as you can see, as the weeks have gone past, the bodies of the candles have become smaller until we had this massive short. I do want to see the price return to the 49.50 mark, but the strength of this movement here, all I'm really watching for is going to be this structure. If we have a daily close beneath this area, guys, then we are going to be going for a heavy short. Now, I want to be the person to say this because many people didn't believe me earlier on when I said the things I said about Bitcoin going short the first time. But there is a pool of liquidity here all along this area, you know, created from several market scenarios, which from an order book standpoint, the price needs to go here to fulfill efficiency. So we may see this short happening. This is why I know, opposed to what everybody is saying, I'm not cryptoing like everybody else is, if that's even a verb I can use. All right, because from a technical standpoint, I can see some things which are alluding to the price pushing short. But let's go down to the H4 anyway. Now the price has returned here, and this may be the trigger for another long. If not, and we see a H4 close beneath, be prepared, guys, for a major short. All right, let's go on to our major currencies. So again, what Bitcoin does is still going to affect the entire market because of the market cap effect it has. And so whenever I analyze, guys, I will always go with Bitcoin first, unless there's a reason to go somewhere else. All right, so I'm going to steal USD CAD here. And let me pull this up here. All right, so Ethereum. Now, Ethereum just made a large descent short. All right. Now, again, Ethereum is in an interesting place as well. Ethereum has the same pool of liquidity beneath the low on July 2020 right here. Maybe it wouldn't be good to use a line in that manner. Let me just use this. Here we go. So looking at what we have here, guys, I'm very intrigued to see what the market is going to offer us in that in this movement here. I think from what I'm seeing, if the market is showing as it should show up, I would want to see how the price reacts over here. So right here, we have a daily demand zone. If the price breaks beneath this area, guys, then we should be looking for that low down mark I told you of 2,500, which will land us right into this demand order block here. So right here. So I'm looking for. If we have a close beneath that daily zone on Bitcoin, I expect Ethereum to follow suit and for the price to make its way from the 3,000s back down. And if this is the case, and what I believe I've seen on the order book is going to happen now, I'm not wishing crypto bad at all. I love crypto so much. I think it's such a fantastic industry. It's just that technically speaking, there's so many inefficiencies in the price that need to be fixed. And one of the biggest ones, I'm going to say and be brave, is that there is a liquidity gap on Ethereum all the way back down at $283. Now, in this next quarter, when money is shifting hands, we've just had a major breakthrough in crypto where it's actually been Bitcoin has been accepted as legal tender. So as one last attempt before crypto takes over the world, would be some sort of great shakeout, which from the technical price action, there is the high potential that can happen. Nobody really expected March and April to happen. And, it wouldn't be a surprise if they did it again. So I would say keep your eyes peeled. I'm not saying don't say that Michael said Ethereum's going to go to $283 because it doesn't have to. But it's just what I've seen from the market order books. Market order books never lie. And if there's a reason that they can cause the price to do such a thing, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. But at least for sure, I know that the price needs to get back to these lows right here before it can continue in efficient price action. And I'd be very intrigued to see what actually happens here. So hang in there, people. The ride is just beginning. In 8 days, it's supposed to be the all-time high of Bitcoin, and that may still happen. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just very, very wary right now of how the market is. The more ground crypto makes, the stronger the war is going to become. All right. Now, I think I've held it long enough. I really want to dive into what we're looking at with Cardano, and let's get there. So looking at Cardano, guys, let's have a look here. Now, if you guys remember what I discussed here, my markings are still here. Maybe I need to use the hourly, but can you see this, guys? This 30-minute zone and the hourly zone, you know, they're basically the same thing. Now, this demand zone, I told you guys how important this is because to the left, there's nothing to the left for a very long time to withstand, well, to hold the price from dropping below this $2.25 mark. We've just had a break in a reoptimization in literally the last 2 hours. This is why I told you guys don't get any Cardano yet. I mean, it's always good to own some Cardano, but I know the price is about to drop quite strongly. There are market inefficiencies on this order block all the way back down to at least $1.40 and even lower. Now, what I'm going to do, because of all of the markings here, I'm going to try to delete all of this for you guys and just give you my view as to why I think what I think is going to happen. All right. So Cardano fundamentally is in a fantastic place. Okay. But there is a point where we have a divergence between fundamentals and technicals. Now, at the moment with Cardano, there are many great things being built, many developments in the first 24 hours, okay, of the release of the Alonso update. We saw in 24 hours, 100, new projects, submitted onto that network. And now, even though they've been submitted and they're running, remember, guys, value needs to come into those projects, and then therefore the demand for Cardano will increase, which will push the price up. And that's not where we are right now. We're just getting started. Now, this means a great discount for all of you. And I believe we have an opportunity to get some good pricing. So if I go to the H4, all right, just running through the order blocks here. At this point right here, $1.59, $1.60, there's a liquidity gap here. And there's a huge missing piece of action here, which is from this H1 or H4 demand zone. And the H1 is very similar. Okay, but we see that the price did not return back to this order block. And the reason why we have such a strong push in price is very simply because of the fundamental positivity around the news. And whenever there's fundamental positivity, a lot of retail activity, especially a lot of retail activity takes place in terms of markets. Remember, when it comes to institutions, so that they don't affect the price, they operate in a very different way, especially for things like Bitcoin. And I did break it down on Friday, but I definitely will go through it again. And one of the biggest things they do is OTC buying. So even if an institution purchases a crypto, they try as much as possible not to purchase on an exchange or to do stealth buying, So when it comes to what we have going on with crypto or in the crypto space, I think it's very important for you to remember this principle that when there's a lot of hype of news, positive news around a project, money moves in there very fast from, unfortunately, many people just looking for a way to make either a quick buck or just try to make as much money as possible, which is not a bad thing at all. But it leaves a lot of market inefficiencies that the market order book needs to fix at one point or another. And this is one of those. So watching what we got going on, let's even get to the daily here. So if I go to the daily structure and we have a look, now my daily structure is not that great on here. So when I go to the H4 and I pull back a bit, I'm going to have to use the drag back option here for you guys to see what I'm doing. But anyway, this is the first inefficiency on the price here. Now I will use TradingView in a moment for you guys to see, but I am targeting at least, the low of what we had with the Bitcoin day crash, if you want to call it that. Now the price dropped down just above $2, but I do think in this reoptimization we've just had, we are going to drop beneath $2 and keep on going all the way down to $1.57. All right. Now, once I go into TradingView here, you guys will see the rest, but let's go and check it on the other cryptos here. So Solana, guys, as I've told you, we had this break beneath demand. We had a slight push back up into supply, but you can see the price is back where almost where it was launching to go short from. So I do expect this continuation here. And I told you, same thing when it comes to market order books. I do believe Solana is about to hit single, or not single digits, double digits. I wish it hit single digits, but I definitely think it's going to hit the double digits. But in the near term view, I do think we're going to get a $1.20 before some sort of pullback. And even lower than that, if the price crashes through that, we're going straight down to around about 86. And then my land of target is going to be 65, just before this first initial bullish run where we went from 43 up about $20. So keep your eyes peeled, guys. I think the market is definitely getting very heated and it's about to get very serious. Now, coming back to Doge, because I believe that maybe one of the greatest trades that we can take in terms of profit has happened. Remember, I talked to you about this demand zone here. We had a very strong break beneath and a return, and the price is descending short. Now, I've told you with Doge, I'm looking for Doge to get to about 7 cents. And from the market structure here, it may even get lower because all of the pumps we've seen on the price so far, including the liquidity gap that still hasn't been filled right here, all of this was from hype. There wasn't any fundamental additions to Doge. Doge hasn't been optimized in any way for human capability for life or human application. At the moment, Doge is just Doge, the meme coin. And so I think that when the market starts to fall as it seems as it is, Doge is going to feel it very hard. Remember, I talked about institutional price cushions. Doge doesn't have any price cushions whatsoever. And so I'd say keep your eyes very strongly peeled on this fact. Okay. Keep your eyes very strongly peeled. It's about to get very interesting right now in these markets. All right. How's XRP doing? So XRP is stuck in within the area that we talked about. The price wasn't able to break supply. Instead, we've seen a very sharp drop, a strong accumulation and range, and then a sharp drop here so far. And I believe the first inefficiency, which we talked about before, around this 85 to 89 range, that's where Ripple is definitely going next. In terms of it dropping further, I've always said, and I'll keep on saying, that Ripple has a liquidity gap at 33 cents, which was caused again by the same thing we were discussing, which is when we have hype on a project and most of the money comes in from retail money, a lot of the times it leaves order book inefficiencies because of just the sheer pressure and not matching liquidity to match the kind of buying pressure that is on the market. So it leaves gaps. And one of the major ones is at 33, was the only one. It's at 33 cents that I can see on this chart. Now, not to scare anyone, there is a liquidity gap on IC markets at 2 cents. But I prefer to say it. And if it happens to go there, Mike said it. But anyway, the price is falling quite nicely. It's still within this area of demand. So even if it takes the low, the price could still go low. All right. But I would like to keep tabs on it. But we've started this Sunday night with a very strong short. And we're going to have to see what happens continuing forward. But if I were you guys, personally, I would hold on buying any ADA at the moment. And this is why I've held on. I hope you can see the integrity in my analysis. I think as a trader, guys, before an investor, now when you're an investor, you're still a trader. You're just trading in slow motion. You just have a buy and the stop loss is your mental capacity to stay in, really. That's the truth. With a trader, usually you have a stop loss on a trade and that's that. So, well, good ones anyway. So I'm watching this very carefully. This price crash that we're seeing here, from the looks of things, is set to continue. Bitcoin is not showing any signs of resisting this short movement. And I'd expect to see more action taking place from this. But please keep your eyes on this. The moment that we have a daily close beneath this gray area, it means, guys, it's time to sell. Okay? As in taking trade sell. It doesn't mean to sell your crypto. We're in the long term on this. Okay? So for those of you who are jumping into crypto, which are more and more every day, you know what? Don't ever be saddened by red days. See it as days to get things cheaper. That's all. Okay? So let me switch over to TradingView and just finish off what we have with Cardano here. and I'll be out of your way. All right, switching over to TradingView. Now on ADA, I have different breakdowns. So what I try to do is keep all my sources here. So when I'm trading Cardano, personally, the source that I believe is best for me anyway is I like to use Binance. Now, again, as a tip, just to repeat myself to help you guys, if you're ever in a position where you want to analyze on TradingView some sort of crypto, try to do research and find out where that crypto was first listed, because that will have the most price feed and the most price data, which is going to be helpful for you in order for you to have the most as much information as possible to analyze. So I believe my analysis is with USDT and Cardano. We'll sure find out in a minute. The cloud will let me know. All right. It looks like it is. All right. So let me do this then. So I don't know. This indicator, one of my coaches showed it to me. It's for the London sessions. I need to get rid of it. There we go. So guys, you see my markings right here? How close it is? All right. This was the long scenario, and you can see the short scenario. Let me get rid of the long scenario for a moment. Not being biased and just being following what the market has been doing. And as you can see here, guys, you remember my markings? I told you when we get to the $3 mark, Cardano is going to reverse very strongly, because many retail traders and YouTubers were looking for this $3 mark. Institutions know this, guys. So the perfect opportunity to short the price or to get everybody buying. If you notice, just before this short, there was a very strong drive up to the $3 mark. This is institutional sponsorship and it's the psychological game. There's a lot of people trapped at $3 who could have bought at 2 if they had just been patient to wait. And I always say, guys, you have to be smart in this game, because institutions, they're not bad people necessarily in that sense, but it's a game for them. They need to get the cheapest prices and the most bags in them. And so if they can manipulate retail traders who, in terms of crypto topology, were in the market before them, they have an upwards fight. Institutions weren't in Cardano or Summit or hardly any during its inception or even during 2019. It's quite new for a lot of companies, and I think the awareness of crypto spiking the way it has affected the way things are. So for me, I would say you have to always be careful. If you hear everybody saying here, Cardano's getting to $3, just know when it gets there, it's going to sell off, which is why I said to you, which I didn't touch any Cardano. People are like, oh, you're crazy, you should buy some Cardano. But I've been a Forex trader for many years. I've been in financial markets for almost 7 years now. And I can tell you for a fact, market psychology doesn't change. Okay. You want to be selling when everybody's buying, and you want to be buying when everybody's selling. That's just how it is. And human psychology and emotion will always cause the people to do the majority thing instead of the minority thing, which will make you money. So moving forward from here, as you can see with where the markings are, here's the inefficiency I was talking about. According to these charts, the next stop-off point where it would be a good rebuy is at $1.77. Now, there is a liquidity gap here, and this is why I have markings for $1.45, similar to what we have on the charts. Now, if Cardano pushes beneath that, which potentially may not happen, I think there's enough money in Cardano to support it above $1. But if it does drop beneath there, then, well, guys, I would honestly say grab yourself some bags, because Cardano is absolutely for sure going to change the world. All right, but you can see our markings are following suit very well. And I definitely want to see the price interact with the low from Bitcoin Day. So we have an opportunity here for some cheap rebuys, okay? Now, please dollar cost average when you're getting in. Just because I'm saying I expect the price to go lower, don't blame me if the price reverses from where it is to $10, okay? All I'm saying is I'm giving you the guidelines to see where the expectation is for the price and Cardano's future. And I do believe this is a great opportunity for us to grab some money. So this was very short and sweet. This was our live weekly breakdown, not the norm. I'm doing this at 4 in the morning, hence why my voice is a little bit toned down, okay, because it's very early in the morning where I am in the world in the UK. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you have any questions ever, you want to share anything, just let me know. And I'll definitely make sure that you guys have that. So catch you guys very, very soon. Take care and have a great night, evening, weekend, wherever you are in the world. All right. Take care. My name is Mike and I'm out. Please make sure you put a thumbs up on this and subscribe.